Okay, in your science notebook, you're going to turn to the next clean page after your notes that you took yesterday. All right, balanced and unbalanced forces is what we're going to talk about today, what we're going to add to our notebook. So put that as your title in today's date. You guys have a sheet that looks like this in your stuff to print off or in your packet that you picked up from school. You're going to cut just this big rectangle out. So you're going to cut this big rectangle out. So go ahead and pause the video until you have that cut out. Okay, once you have it cut out, you see the dotted line right here? You're going to fold that in half on that dotted line. So just like this. So fold in half. So now it's like a card. Okay, so now you're going to cut these so that they're flaps. Just like that. Okay, so then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to glue it down right along the blue line and the red line so it's nice and neat. But you're only gluing that backside down so then we can still open these flaps. All right, go ahead and pause the video and get that glued down. Okay, so now you have that glued down and these are flaps, so we're ready to go. All right, so the first part here, remember yesterday we watched the Study Jam videos that talked about the ball, like the basketball player and about the soccer, like kicking the ball and the forces acting on it? Well, we're going to use that ball for these examples also. So just think of a soccer ball. Yeah, a soccer ball would be perfect. All right, so the first one says, what are balanced forces? Okay, so we're going to draw our soccer ball. All right, so let's say we had a force acting on it that went this direction and one that went this direction. So it kind of reminds me of a tug of war, but with a boat. And we're going to have 4 newtons here. So remember, newtons are just the unit of measurement for a force. It's like saying 4 inches, but this is just 4 units of force. So, and on this side is 4 newtons also. So it's even. So it's balanced forces. So do you think this ball is going to move anywhere if the same amount of force is going this way and the same amount of force is going this way? No, probably not. It's probably just going to stay still. So let's open this up. So what are balanced forces? Okay, so balanced forces are forces acting on an object, which is our ball here, that causes no change in motion. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example, like a real life example here. So EX, that means example. So if we're playing tug of war and it ends in a tie, so we're both pulling with the same amount of force and we never move the middle of the rope anywhere, that is a balanced force. So tug of war, ending in a tie. So it doesn't move anywhere. Another example is arm wrestling and nobody wins because you're not able to pin anybody's arm down. So arm wrestling and no one wins. So those are 2 examples of balanced forces. Remember, you guys can pause this if you're not done writing. All right, so go ahead and close that one up. The next one says, what are unbalanced forces? So an example of unbalanced, we're going to stay with that ball again. we have a force going that direction on the ball and a force going this direction on the ball. This way, we have 6 newtons. This is you kicking. Oh, actually, I want the ball. I want it to go this way. We're going to stay that way. So we're going to stay that way. So it's like you kicking the ball and then the grass or the friction acting the other way. So if you're kicking the ball on this side, and there's only 4 newtons on this side, so your kick is stronger than the forces acting the other way on the ball. What do you think is going to happen? Which way is the ball going to go? Is it going to go to the left or is it going to go to the right? Or is it just going to stay there because it's balanced? You're right, it's going to go to the left because there's more force on this side. There's 6 on this side and only 4 on that side. Okay, so let's go ahead and open that one up. Okay, so unbalanced forces are forces acting on an object that causes motion. So motion is caused by unbalanced forces. So an example of kicking a soccer ball. We're going to use that, keep that example. So kicking soccer ball. Another example is when you're accelerating in a car. So pressing on that gas pedal in the car. So accelerating in a car. Whoop. So those are examples of unbalanced forces. All right, let's close that one up. What is net force? So net force is the total amount of force acting on an object. So let's use our ball again. And we're going to use this one up here. So if I have 6 net forces from my kick, and I have 4 net forces from the friction of the grass, you add them together. No, this one you wouldn't add together. This one you're going to find the difference. No, you would add together because it's all of it acting on it, and that's acting on it too. So you actually have 4 newtons plus 6 newtons equals 10 newtons. So there's 10 newtons total acting on the soccer ball. Okay, so go ahead and open that up. And net force, what is it? Net force, yeah. Net force, the total force acting on object. So the total force acting on an object. Oh no, I was right. Okay, so they're going, all right, I was right. Let's get rid of that. Sometimes you just got to erase what you had. I wrote down the right thing in my notes, but then when I got to here, I was doing the wrong thing. So when you have, oh, I didn't mean to do that whole thing, but that's okay. All right, when you have forces acting in the opposite direction, you don't add them together, you subtract them. That's why I was hesitant in the beginning there. I should have listened to myself. So because these forces are going like against each other, you're going to subtract. So you subtract the forces when they're going the opposite direction. So we'll fix that when I let that dry. But these are the notes I have on here for you guys to make. So when the forces are going in the same direction, then you add them. So add the forces when they are going in the same direction. And then you subtract them when they're going in the opposite direction. So let's see, I'm gonna have to write it down here. Subtract the forces when they are going in the, oh, you guys can't see it, sorry, the opposite direction. Okay, let's fix this one then. So they're going in opposite directions. So it would be 6 newtons minus 4 newtons. So that would end up being 2 newtons are actually acting on it. All right. So make sure those notes are in your notebook. And then you go ahead to the next video and I will show you what you're going to do for your assignment.